What is up guys, welcome back to another video. Today, by popular request, we're doing a shoulder mobility routine, a yoga sequence especially designed to open the shoulders in all ranges of motion, mostly shoulder flexion. That way we can get the handstand, and I'm gonna give you guys opportunity to do some arm balances throughout the practice, as well as shoulder extension, maybe if you're working on the V-sit. And it's always good to work on all ranges of motion, not only on a particular move. But we are going to be emphasizing, of course, shoulder flexion, because that's the one that people are liking the most, the one that people want the most, and the more useful one, not only for handstand, but for all overhead pressing movements. You want to build not only mobility and flexibility, but also stability. So we're going to be doing a combination of both. We're going to be building a strength in that range of motion, in both ranges of motion, all ranges of motions, as well as building mobility and flexibility. I want to do a couple disclaimers here. As always, this routine is adaptable to all levels. How you adapt the routine is by not going too far into the stretch. If you see me going complete full shoulder flexion on a downward facing dog, for example, that is not your practice. Find a position that you feel the stretch, and as you do this routine over and over, it's not that you're going to be doing the practice just like me, but you're going to be seeing improvement in your own body. So I don't want any comments saying this is way too hard, you're completely opening your body. Now it's not folding in half, but it's actually an extension. And please do only what you can, and this routine can be done daily. However, if you are on the too flexible side, which you can have unstable shoulders, because the shoulders are meant to be mobile, and because of that they are also prone to be unstable. So if you have any history of shoulder dislocation or a torn labrum or just unstable shoulders overall, then take this practice slow and really focus on building stability in those ranges of motion. I'm gonna be talking about that throughout the practice, but instead of just relaxing and smashing the shoulder joint into whichever stretch we're doing, I want you to actively engage the shoulder joint or the muscles surrounding the shoulder joint, so we create a stability as well as mobility, and we just don't become flexible just because an Instagram picture, but we can actually control the range of motion. Talking about control, as I said, we're going to be doing also some couple arm balances, just to give you guys a chance to take advantage of that new range of motion that we're going to acquire. However, as always, if arm balances are not in your practice, or if I'm showing an advanced variation of arm balance, that doesn't mean that you need to do that position. That just means that it's a time for you to either practice anything that you like to practice, or practice along with us, or just rest while we're doing the arm balances part. As always, modify the routine to your level. This routine can be done daily, no problem. I would pay attention to the intensity. Don't go too hard every single day, and listen to your body. If you feel that you can do the full practice, do the full practice. If the next day you don't like the full practice, but you like 2 or 3 exercises, that's actually the reason why I'm making these routines. So you guys get an idea of, oh, how do I open my hamstrings? How do I open my shoulders? How do I open my hips? Which is probably going to be the next one. And that way you can combine all these exercises, or all these movement and these yoga postures, and that way you can apply it to your own practice. With that being said, guys, the giveaway winners from last video here are going to be Ricardo Cook, Anna A, and Noi Elancri. You guys just won 3 months for free as a premium membership to the SM Academy, full access to an entire library of courses, workout programs, individual moves, and everything that is the world of the SM Academy. If you want to participate on the next video giveaway, please comment within the first 60 minutes of this video and get a chance to participate and win some SM free merchandise. With that being said, guys, I will see you on your mat. Alright guys, so let's begin. I didn't mention we're gonna need a couple blocks. I'm sitting on one right now, or just a stack of books that are the same height, because they're gonna come pretty handy on a lot of the positions. If you don't have blocks, I mean, you can modify it, but it will really make the practice different. So with that being said, let's get into our hands and knees, tabletop position. Begin warming up a little bit into the wrist, since we're gonna be doing some arm balances. It's always good to warm up into the wrist. And as you lean forward and you lean back, go back completely, so you're stretching a little bit on the lats and you're getting that shoulder flexion, and then closing it posteriorly to the pelvis and lean forward. Then reverse the motion. If you want a little more stretch, you can bring your hands a little bit forward, then switch it forward, tuck your pelvis, lean forward, go back, arms straight, open through the chest, through the shoulders, lean forward, back, moving with your breath, exhaling as you go forward, inhaling as you go back. Last one, hold it here. You can be on your knees, or if you want to take a step further, go into plank, just little rocks forward, warming up into the wrists, always applying a tiny bit more pressure into the knuckles, into the palms, not overdoing it. Maybe you want to be on your knees today, and that's fine. Go back to tabletop position, neutral. Give a little shake to your wrist. Now bring your fingers facing you towards your knees. Externally rotate your shoulders, bringing the eye of the elbow back and the eye of the bicep forward. And then lean back. If you don't feel it, bring the hands forward. If that's too much, bring it closer to you. Let's go back for 5 times. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. 2 more. Inhale, forward, exhale, back. Inhale, exhale, hold it there, stretching. If it's too much, just back up a little more, or bring your hands closer to you. There is no need to, we're warming up, we're not strengthening the wrist per se. I want to give you a cool variation for your wrist and scapula activation and just body awareness. You can stay here if you want to, or just give it a shake to the wrist. A little, maybe a trick, party trick or something. It's an arm balance. Bring the knee towards one hand. Make sure that your wrists are stable and you're comfortable in this position. If not, just stay there. I just like to add some fun stuff for some people that want to have fun. From here, both knees on your hands. Grab the knees strongly. Strongly activate your scapula. Bring one foot off. And maybe this is all you can do. But if you want to lean a little bit forward, lift your foot. And a little bit of a challenge, a balance challenge. Maybe try it. Since we're on quarantine, there is always good to do some new stuff. Give it a shake to the wrist. Let's get into a squat position. Little rolls, finding that separation between your forearm and your hand. Small pressure, not too much, that you close the complete gap. And then go towards the right. And go towards the left. Really warming up into the wrist, releasing some of the tension of flexion and extension that we just did. Little shake, let's go towards the right. Find a little separation, little rolls towards the right. Always paying attention to your breathing and to your left. Another little shake. Now let's face the mat. We're gonna be in a high kneeling position. So be on your knees, maybe slightly apart to find a little bit more balance. We're gonna do some active shoulder flexion to extension. So we're gonna go to full flexion, actually tucking your pelvis in. That way you are not compensating by arching, but you're keeping that posterior pelvic tilt, your spine is straight, and the main thing that is going to be moving is going to be your shoulder joint. I'm gonna go for flexion, then back into extension, and then flexion. Fast, but not on control. Really feeling the movement and going at your own pace with your own breath. A little bit of a fast pace, but not on control and without actually feeling the movement. So tuck your pelvis in, be on your knees, rise all the way up, and bring it down. Up and down. We're gonna go for about 20 of these. So find your own rhythm, find your own pace, open through the shoulders. Maybe go slightly wider than shoulder width. It's gonna allow you to get a little bit more range of motion. It's not the ideal thing, but sometimes we're so limited right here that opening a little bit won't harm you that much. Let's go for 5 more. 1, complete. 2, complete. 3, 4, and 5. Relax, a little shake to your arms. Let's be on plank position. Hold the plank. Let's warm up a little bit on the entire body, but protracting the scapula, wrapping your triceps in, deep press your shoulders, bring your core down, hold the plank. Let's begin building some stability in the shoulders. Breathe as naturally and as deep as possible. And if deep is not natural, then just breathe as natural as possible. From here, transfer into downward facing dog by lifting your hips up and back, adjusting your feet as you need to, not too much forward. We're going into more of a wider downward facing dog. Really push strongly through the shoulders, wrap your triceps in, look in between your knees, find your center. From here, transfer into plank by leaning forward. That's why I want you to go wide, that way you don't need to adjust. Bring the core down. Now push strongly into protraction. Exhale while going to downward facing dog. As you reach downward facing dog, elevate your scapula and allow it to naturally depress. Let's go for 5 of those. This exercise is amazing to lean forward, plank, to really both warm up into the shoulder joint as well as really getting that pressing motion with a straight arm. Go to plank. Exhale to downward facing dog. If you need to adjust as you need to. Inhale for plank. Exhale for downward facing dog. Inhale for plank. Exhale for downward facing dog and hold it. If by any time you need to rest because of the shoulders, feel free to rest in child's pose. Bring the hips up and back. Press strongly with your arms. Spread your fingers wide. Now bend your knees slightly. This will take the hamstrings out of the equation and posteriorly to your pelvis and send the chest down towards the mat. Then go forward and then down very organically, just trying to open up a little bit more into the shoulders without having our hamstrings in the way. Then forward, slightly forward, close the gap, then open, little pulses, then forward, back, open, open. Now keep the pulses going. Slowly lower down your knees and get into this wide stand child's pose, as wide as you can go. You're going to walk your hands forward, then send the hips back at the same time. Maximum length of your spine as you can get, and then relax into the stretch. Relax the forehead and breathe. Catch your breathing. Return to your body. Return to your breath. Now let's go into poopy pose. I know, funny name. Just place your hands forward. We're still on our knees. Now walk the knees back so they are ideally just slightly above your hips, but not too much forward. Now from here, walk your hands forward and stack your hips right on top of your knees. Be on your fingertips and lower down by melting the chest down. Now, if this is all you can get, like right here, that is absolutely fine. Tuck your pelvis in to really see the maximum range of your shoulders. Wrap your triceps in to protect the shoulders. External rotate as much as possible. Now, once you find your maximum length with your posterior pelvic tilt, open the lumbar spine and allow to sink down. We're gonna hold here for about 5 breaths. So if you need to modify. If being on your fingertips is too much, be on your palms. Relax a little bit the forearms. Find a position that you can rest comfortably and comfortable for about 3 more breaths. Now from here, we're gonna be doing some PNF work. You can stay on the position, you can rest a little bit. We're gonna be pressing with our fingers as much as we can towards the mat, really basically doing a shoulder extension, but in an overhead position. We're gonna hold for 5 seconds as hard as we can, and then we're going to relax into the stretch. That by reciprocal inhibition, we're gonna be relaxing the shoulder joint, and we're gonna be allowing it to go a little bit deeper. So place your hands forward, be on your fingertips if you're able to do it. Fingertips just allow more range of motion to go down, but if you're not on the too flexible side and you're tight, being on your hands is totally fine. Now bring your knees back, set it up, posteriorly tilt your pelvis first. Now press in 3, 2, 1, down as hard as you can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and allow your body to relax. Maybe walk your hands a little bit forward. Relax the lumbar spine, allow it to arch. Let's go one more time, maybe on the fingertips this time. 3, 2, 1, down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax into the stretch. Breathe naturally, even though this is not so much of a position to breathe naturally. But if you cannot breathe, that means that you're going way too far. So one more time of those. Press down in 3, 2, 1, as hard as you can go. Feel the armpits working, even though that is not the muscle. In 3, hard enough. 2, harder. 1, and relax. We're gonna hold here for about 5 breaths. Find a comfortable position. If you wanna go deeper, bring your hands a little bit forward. Maybe extend through the cervical spine, opening up into the neck. And slowly, as slow as you came into the pose, you go back up, bring your hands back as you lean forward to reduce the load on the shoulders. Let's do a contour pose. Bring your hands back, your kneeling position, extend through the chest, just hold it here. Don't go too far, this is just to counterbalance all the shoulder flexion that we just did. And I wanna ask you guys, how did that feel? Now, for me, that is I feel instability in that movement if I go too far because of my range of motion. Now, inhale, lift your chest, maybe go a little bit forward, find some movement in your shoulder extension. But that is me. For some people, it might feel way too tight, and that is the perfect movement to do. This is a really amazing shoulder opener, so if it felt good, something that you can do on a daily basis without any problem. If it feels like unstable a little bit, make sure you're wrapping your triceps in, really pressing with your hands. Even when you are relaxing, you are doing a small activation to really create a stability. Maybe not a strength as we are actually pressing down, but a small stability as you are building mobility. Let's clasp your hands behind if you're still here. Now inhale, lift your chest and fall, trying to keep your back as flat as possible, even though it won't be flat, and then allow it to round, relaxing the neck, really opening into the opposite direction that we just did. Find some movement, and then slowly come back up. Let's do a little vinyasa to keep the blood flow going and the energy going. Get into plank, lower down, chaturanga, inhale, upward facing, and exhale, downward facing. Let's give our shoulders a break by doing a full sun salutation A. It's never late to do a sun salutation, so bend your knees, jump or step to the top of your mat. You can just walk forward, inhale halfway, and exhale, fall. Inhale, raise one vertebra at a time, all the way up, hands to touch. Exhale, hands by your heart center. Inhale, rise all the way up, little back bend, open into the shoulders, and exhale, fall. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float or step to the back of the mat. Inhale for upward facing, and exhale for downward facing dog. Now from here, we're gonna get into dolphin pose. If you have never done dolphin pose, this is probably the best shoulder opener there is, and shoulder strengthening as well. Do not get discouraged. It is way harder than downward facing dog. It is way harder than even holding a handstand. So please be kind to yourself, and if you see a struggle in this position, that might be that you just need to work a little bit more on that position. So how we get into dolphin pose, the easiest way is forearms are forearm distance apart, like a forearm plank, and let's actually teach it in that way. Let's begin in a forearm plank. Protract your scapula as much as possible, deep press it so your shoulders are nice and strong. Now begin walking your feet forward and lifting your hips. You're gonna realize that you're gonna find a wall at some point by either your hamstrings or your shoulders. Send the chest back and open into the shoulders and walk your feet as much closer as possible. If your hamstrings are way too tight, you can be on your tiptoes or bend your legs and really focusing on the shoulders. The final position would be somewhere like this. But if you're here, since we're really focusing on the shoulders, that is totally fine. We're gonna move from dolphin pose down into like forward plank, so dolphin push-ups they're called, and then pushing back down, really sending the chest back and really opening into the chest. Super challenging, especially mobility wise. If your shoulders are open, this won't be as much of a challenge, but it may be a strength challenge. Here we're building, as always, a strength and mobility and flexibility in the same exercise. So place your hands shoulder width apart, hips up and back. Adjust your feet as you need to. Lean forward, get your shin to touch where your index finger is, then push back using the strength of your shoulders. Hold it for 2. 1, lean forward, inhale, exhale, inhale and open up. Exhale, inhale as you go forward, exhale right here, and inhale as you open through the shoulders. Or on one breath, you go forward, exhale, inhale back, exhale forward, inhale back, and hold. If you need to rest, please rest. Allow your chest to open. I know your shoulders might be shaking. Maybe bend your knees, focusing more on opening the shoulder. And break. Let's go back into extension. Clasp your hands behind your back, opening into the chest. Send your head towards the right, opening up a little bit until into the neck, left side, and go towards the right. Even though we're doing shoulder opening routine, it's always good to get a stretch on different parts of the body here and there, especially if that makes you feel good. Give it a shake. We're gonna go for another round of those. Observe what you did, which limitations did you find. Maybe it was your hamstrings, maybe your shoulders are super open but your hamstrings are limiting you. That means that you should be going towards a hamstring routine. Not that you shouldn't be opening your shoulders, but maybe that is a bigger limitation than your shoulders. For me, it's clearly, even though I have a huge amount of flexibility, it's not the same here than here. Your shoulder joint doesn't have the capacity to go that deep. That's why on the second round, instead of placing your hands like this, we're gonna go this way. This is gonna allow you a little bit more range of motion than if you're here, and it just feels a little bit more natural, and it facilitates external rotation on the shoulders. So begin on your forearm plank with your thumb facing up, a space on a forearm distance apart. Walk back to get dolphin pose. You can be on your fist or on your hands. Now lean forward, exhale, and inhale back. Lean forward, and inhale back. Lean forward, and inhale back. Forward, really keeping the activation on the shoulders, never relaxing into them, or using your strength to get to the position. Let's get one more. Lean forward and back. Press, hold it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Let's get into a nice child's pose. Bring your knees close together. That way we promote a little bit more roundiness on the lumbar spine. Relax your hands by your side.
and breathe. Meditate on what you just did, not to judge, but to observe and see how you should be approaching your practice from now on. Yoga practice is a perfect opportunity not to improve on something, but to actually observe in which areas we need to improve, and not only physically but mentally, because it's not that you felt pain in your shoulder, it's that what does that pain allow you to feel? How do you feel with that pain? Do you feel anger? Do you feel some resistance? Working through those things is what makes us better human beings.
Slowly come all the way up. I'm gonna give you two options. If dolphin pose is a new complete thing to you, you're gonna hold it for 10 seconds or 10 breaths, actually, like about 30 to 60 seconds, really opening up into the shoulders as much as you can and getting comfortable in that position. If on the other hand you're a little bit more advanced, you have done dolphin pose in the past and you want to practice pincha majorizana or shoulder stand, then that's the option that I'm going to give you. Whichever position you want to do, you can stay on shoulder stand or just kick up into your shoulder stand, or you can use the wall to balance. We're going to go for the straight forearm stand. You can get into scorpion for a stand if you want to. It is your practice. Just experiment and play with it. Play with your body and your mind. Place your hands, space it apart. Now, get into dolphin pose. Maybe this is all you can do. Maybe even with bent legs, that's totally fine. This is your journey, nobody else. If you're comfortable here, protract your scapula as you bring your hips up towards your shoulders and your feet forward. Bring one leg up, shoulders are strong, and lift it up. Press strong into the shoulders. Bring maybe both feet together, or maybe not. This is way harder than a handstand, in case you're wondering. Maybe getting into your scorpion shape. Maybe open a little bit more, probably hollow backs. And lower it down. We meet up in dolphin pose. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Give it a shake to your arms. Give it a shake to your wrist. And once again, how did that feel? And if you didn't do it with me, how did it feel to do something advanced or to see something advanced? Did it motivate you? Did it discourage you? Let me know down below. Maybe I should make this a little bit more for beginners, but I really want to emphasize that, and I like to show some advanced position, not because I want to show off, like that is the least of my intent. It is because I want you guys to see me sweating. I said it in the last video. I want you guys to see my own practice and how I adapted to my own practice, because I guarantee that if you do this routine for an entire year, you're gonna be even more open than me, because maybe this is all you're doing. So as always, modify it and work with your body, and never get discouraged if you are not there yet. If you're not there yet, ask yourself, do you want to get there? Let's take the necessary step to actually get there. As always, talking too much. Let's grab your pair of blocks. Let's do some butcher box. Maybe you've seen this in the past. You can grab a stick, but since we're doing yoga, let's keep it with our blocks. I'm gonna place the forearms on top of the blocks. You're gonna clasp your hands, basically in a prayer position, and walk back just like puppy pose, but now in our forearms. Now from here, walk as far back as you can go. Be careful with the blocks, they can be unstable. Now bring the hands close towards your back, posteriorly to your pelvis, and sink down, opening up into the shoulders. Let's do little pulses, 10 of those and a hold. So let's go for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now hold. An option to work only on the shoulders, or as I like to do, a little bit on the shoulders and then completely relaxing, opening up into the spine. Make sure you're breathing. Find some movement in stillness.
Let's go for a PNF round. You're gonna press with your shoulders as hard as you can down, and then we're gonna relax. So in 3, 2, 1, press down for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press down, posterior tilt for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly begin bringing your knees closer towards your hand. Begin putting your hands forward and release the position. Give a little shake again to your shoulders and to your arms. Let's get into a standing position. A contra pose for the shoulder flexion, bringing both hands behind your back, slightly wider shoulder width in your feet. Inhale, lift your chest, and exhale, fall. Fall by rounding, go first straight and then find length in your forward fold, find length in your spine, and relax into the position. Slowly inhale halfway, put your hands behind your back, release your hands in the floor. An option to stay here on this nice forward fold, or an option to go into your handstand, either press or with the wall, to take advantage of that shoulder flexion. Any handstand variation is welcome. Press it up, kick up, or any modification that you want to do in your handstand. Maybe tuck, and if you're more advanced and working on hollow backs, maybe getting a little bit more opening into the shoulders. And then if you're up, we meet up in a squat position. If you are in a forward fold, just lower down into a squat. Find some rotation on your wrist if you were doing some handstands. A little shake towards the wrist. Now we're gonna meet up in our backs for almost the end of the practice. We're gonna be doing a shoulder stand sequence. Shoulder stand, it is mostly for shoulder extension, since we're gonna be right here, but it's really going to build that stability in that position, and also working a lot on the core and the awareness while being upside down, as well as complete posterior chain stretch. So place your hands, relax your head first, place your hands shoulder width, really feeling your shoulders touching down. Since it's a shoulder stand, that should be your base of support. From here, bring both knees forward, legs straight, and slowly, I'm gonna show you the harder variation, hands facing here. You raise up. If that's too much, just bring your hands behind your back as you push it up. We meet up in your shoulder stand with your shoulders right here, or supporting your lumbar spine. Hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now lower one knee, one leg. Switch it up for the other one. Working a little bit on opening the legs, never a bad thing. Left, right. Now both legs down, release your hands, clasp your hands behind your back, and open into the shoulders. Really opening through the chest, sending the chest back. Now if this is all you can do and this is all the position, that's fine. If you feel it too much, your feet forward and maybe allow your knees to bend. This is your position, that's fine. If you want to go deeper, just lower your knees down and relax into Kalasana. And just breathe in whichever position you find your place to be. Now slowly come up, bring both legs straight, one vertebra at a time, touching the mat. Release your hands, slowly
Come back down, lower your legs, maybe in a kneeling position, rock them side to side, opening up into the spine. Now we're gonna go for wheel pose. Again, if wheel pose is still not in your practice, I'm gonna give you some modifications, but if wheel is still completely not in your practice, this is wheel. If that looks like an impossible task to do today, really, this is a position that I would never recommend to do it without proper preparation. So I would go towards the wall and focusing on opening the shoulders like so. Maybe doing little pulses, little PNF while we're doing bridge pose. Also, that's an amazing exercise to do it daily, so that's an extra bonus over there. But if you're with me and you wanna go to wheel pose, let's go to wheel pose. We're gonna do a modification to open a little bit more into the shoulders and not so much into the lumbar spine by placing 2 blocks next to you, lowering down. This is also, less pressure on your wrist. Grab the blocks, bring the feet forward together, begin by hugging your elbows in, lift and put your head. Maybe this is all you can do and working in this position, that is fine. If you can bring it up and press with your shoulders and open into the shoulders. We're gonna go pulses for 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly bring your head down, bring your body down, open into a little butterfly position and relax. Breathe, observe your breathing, observe how you feel, your thought processes and all the resistance that we find on any physical practice, especially when it becomes challenging and out of our comfort zone. But that's exactly the place where we grow. I'm gonna go for another round. If you are more flexible side, you can remove the block and really working on your full wheel pose. This just reduce the bending that you need to do and really allow you to focus on the shoulders. Let's go for one more round. 10 pumps plus a hold. Lift up into your head. Then press strongly with your arms open for 10, 9, 7, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Slowly come down as slow as you came up, the same way you are coming down. Open into a butterfly, maybe put one block behind your head and relax. Opening your hands to receive. Bring your attention inwards if it's not already there. Slowly transfer into your back so you can remove the blocks. Get into your back, and we're gonna bring one arm. Let's go begin with the left arm towards the left, and with the right hand you're going to push your body, rotate your right leg, and opening a little bit more into the left shoulder and into the chest. If this is nothing, just rotate a tiny bit more. If this is too much, just back off and work with what you get. Breathing here, we're doing a passive stretch. Now rock back towards the middle. Bring your shoulder in your hand slightly forward to about 30-degree angle of where we were. Now open in that range of motion. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, rotate back. Now bring it to about 45-degree angle, a wide position, and open in that range of motion. Go back to center. Now switch it up, and I'll be switching positions just because I don't fit here. But you can just bring your right arm towards your right, rotate, and opening into the right shoulder, and breathe. Really lifting the chest up, finding that twisting motion, feeling it on the front side of your right shoulder. Go back, bring it to 30-degree angle, twist, and breathe. Forward, 45-degree angle, twist, and breathe. Come back to center. Now, twist to be on your back. Bring your left knee towards you. Hug it into your chest. Twist towards your right and your chest towards your left. Opening with your left arm. An option to be on this 90-90 position. Working a little bit on shoulder stability, just a tiny bit, or you can completely extend the arm. Begin to relax the body, to relax the mind, and to integrate everything that we just have done. Bring back to center, bring your right knee into your chest, bring it over towards your left, twist towards your right with your chest, and hold. Maybe place a hand beneath your knee to support the knee and allow you to relax into the stretch. Slowly come back to center. Bring both knees towards you. Give yourself a hug. Give yourself some love. You should be proud for making it this far. And if you didn't make it this far and you're just watching the video, that's fine too. You're learning something for sure. And if you couldn't do the entire practice, rock side to side, give some massage to your lumbar spine. If you couldn't do the entire practice, that is fine. I'm making these routines challenging for a reason. And one of the reasons is some people want more advanced stuff. But the other reason is that if you're a beginner and you're doing this routine, you're getting two things for you. The first one is you're getting a challenging routine which allows you to progress. And the second one, you are seeing a challenging routine which allows you to grow mentally by not getting discouraged and by seeing this as a goal and nothing else, and being detached of that goal as well. In short, just enjoying the heck out of the process. Rock forward into a seated position. You can sit yourself into a block for the final relaxation of today. Be in a cross-legged position, lotus position, whichever position you feel more comfortable today. Bring both hands forward, up towards to receive. We can be right here, any mudra that you like to do. And slowly close your eyes. Begin by scanning your body from your feet all the way towards the crown of your head. Be mindful of your sensations. Be aware of exactly how you feel right now. And being aware is not thinking of how you feel, but simply observing exactly as it is. Allow yourself to be here, to be present, and to give this time to yourself and nothing else. Let go the control of your breath. Release any tension that you might still have within you, and let it go. There is nothing to hold on to. There is nothing to do. There is nothing to achieve. There is only one place to be, and that is right here, right now. Slowly open your eyes. Thank you guys so much for sharing this practice with me and allowing me to share my own. May all beings be happy and free. Namaste. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment down below what else do you want to see on this challenge, this channel. I'm trying to keep this sequence of yoga classes. You guys asked for a shoulder mobility. You also asked for a hip mobility routine. I might do that next, but any request regarding anything that you guys want us to cover, please leave it in the comment section down below. Also, how did this routine play for you? Was it too hard? Was it too easy? Do you like long format videos like this one? Do you like more short routines? Anything, we are here to help. We're here to serve you in whichever possible way we can do it. With that being said, guys, I'll see you all next week. Much love.